well, the problems just keep on rolling for the Disney company. The problems in the park, problems with the movies. You had a fight in Disneyland. Basically, Galaxy's Edge on the West Coast isn't doing too well. It's still too early to say how the East Coast is doing. It is getting some people there. Of course, you have ticket prices are up. Various different problems that the company's been having. I mean, even one of the heirs to the Disney fortune basically says that the employees are not treated very well. She went undercover and all that at Abigail Disney. So now this has come out. But before we start, thank you those who have subscribed. Hit that subscription button. Hit that like. Support. And also share this video. It's very important. YouTube does not help us, does not support us basically for our programming. They just rather put up corporate stuff from the corporate news network, CNN, MSNBC. They'll put up the Late Show and stuff like that. But there are plenty of other independent YouTubers that put up a good show day in, day out. And, they need your support as well. So always remember, hit that subscription and like. If you can't support, subscribe, like, and share, because basically that will help us. That will help us really. I mean, truly, it will on there. So, getting back to this. Disney, man, let me tell you, I wouldn't want to be on the board at Disney right now. I wouldn't want to be the head at this moment because of this that's come out. This has come out, I would guess, over the weekend. There have been rumblings of it going back, but there is a whistleblower, and she basically, her name's Sandra Kuba. Sorry if I mispronounced that. She was a senior final analyst in Disney, and basically she was fired. She tried to tell the company there are some problems here, and basically they just literally fired her. So she's reported this to the SEC, and basically, it's just a lot of. And some of the things that you would see is like she had put in her paperwork that they would give gift cards, discounted them down to about $3.95, but valued them at $500 as far as the paperwork. In other words, it just basically they sold at $3.95, but it sounded like they took in $500, and that's not good. I mean, I know that I've seen many times because I've worked in retail a little bit on there. When you give out a gift card, if you give out a free gift card and stuff like that, you have to what they call mark it out of stock. And basically that goes through the loss prevention department. And the loss prevention writes that off and sends that to accounting. In this case, I guess it didn't go through their channels. They just left it as it is on the books, and who knows how many of those are. But that's not the only thing to the revenue, because what we're hearing is that we're hearing of the tune of over $6 billion may have been falsified. $6 billion. That's a lot of money. Let me tell you something on there. And I think the SEC is taking this seriously because they are putting in an investigation on it. Supposedly Disney had looked at it and then just brushed it off. And I guess that's why she went to the SEC, and that's what got her fired. I think she went multiple times, and then finally the SEC is just now looking into it. But that also puts to the point that, many YouTubers have talked about from the movie end, and that is, how did certain movies at Disney, specifically certain Marvel movies, did the way they did? And people had said, well, I went to the theater and I was the only one in the theater, and they said that the show was sold out. And from some inklings from certain theater owners, which wanted to be nameless, that certain people talked to on YouTube, that basically they were shows that, you had bulks of tickets sold and nobody showed up. You would figure that they would want refunds, but nobody asked for refunds. So that kind of got a little strange, but we didn't have the real proof of it other than what certain people said and certain videos that were put out that showed that there were people in the theater sitting with empty seats. They were the only ones there. But this also rumbles back all the way back from something Nerdrotic had said when he went to go see Avatar, that he went to a theater that was empty and supposedly it was sold out as well. And that was years ago. So possibly this has been done for years. I mean, has most of their movie business has been scrubbed and basically, cheated on there? Well, that's going to be up to the SEC to investigate, because basically that's a lot of money. If you're overstating that, $6 billion, as much as $6 million, to boost up your stock, to boost up the company, and you see situations where people are not showing up to Galaxy's Edge because it's, Galaxy's Edge is not the Star Wars most people wanted. Disney propped up this whole thing, and then, we're hearing the inklings that George Lucas has the true rights to the original two trilogies prior to that, and that if they wanted to use it in the parks, they would have to pay a percentage to Lucas, and I guess they didn't want to do this, and that's why we ended up with a Star Wars like this, which is ridiculous. Disney could have shared a bit of a profit. That's being greedy. Also, you got a streaming service coming out in November, and the announcement that Apple is going to be, I haven't got officiated, but Apple might be ready to go in November, which I can't see how that is, because we've seen only one video to come out, from them. What else are they going to carry on their system as far as shows and movies? But Disney's in deep trouble here. They're in deep trouble. If this is true, and I have to say this is just still, in the stages where, we have to think at the moment, is it rumor? Is it truth? It's an allegation. It is a pure allegation against Disney. And Disney's like saying it's just literally, it's without merit. I mean, that's what their spokesman says on there. But one thing about the SEC, they do dig into there, and they do tend to look at every paperwork that's given out, and if something, even if 10 cents is wrong, they're gonna go in and go even deeper. But it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, if this is all true, could this be the fall of Disney? Could you imagine? Could you imagine the Disney company falling apart because of this? How long has this been going on? If this has been going on a long time, those on the board, the stockholders, they're going to want heads, literally, and they're going to start at Iger. Iger has been many problems with this company, and maybe this is finally the nail in the coffin just to get him out of the Disney company. I mean, even the granddaughter of Roy Disney, Abigail, she does not like him, I would assume, on there from a lot of things she said in the article when she went undercover. Saying that hey, listen, the Disney guys, they're not making enough money. They're not treated well on there. And, they have a lot of amusement parks throughout the world. And they have liabilities, Florida, California, Hawaii, Paris, Tokyo. I mean, you have money all over the world because you have all of your parks. Then you have your movie business, your animation business, and, your merchandising. And basically now you got your streaming service. Now, is the streaming service going to get delayed? I don't think so. But I think a lot of people are going to be watching very, very carefully now. So basically, we're we're going to have to watch what the SEC does at this point. And like I said, they keep raising the prices at the parks. They're raising the prices. There's been words that on the West Coast Disneyland, a lot of the merchandise hasn't been filled up. You know, what's going on there as well. So comment below. Tell me what do you think of all this. I mean, really, this is just, it's just incredibly crazy, you know, that you have to go through this. So don't forget, we're on mindsandgab.com. You can also comment there as well. You know, I hope that this gets resolved very quickly and we find out what is going on. Yeah, I hope it's resolved on there. So we got tomorrow. We got 2 more coming up on there. Just to give you a heads up, we've been shooting a little bit ahead of time. It is my anniversary week. Me and the wife are spending some time together. You know, taking in the week. We've been married 5 years. 5 happy years. I'll tell you, she's a wonderful woman, very wonderful woman. And you know, after 5 years, the magic still keeps growing within us. And you know, like I said, you know, she's the one that helped push this into order. You know, without her, you know, I think I would have been still way behind where I'm at as far as CutiCast TV, because she was the one who just literally just was there in my corner when I started this. So, comment below, hit that subscribe, like, support, and share. Thank you for tuning in to Man with a Show on CutiCast TV. We'll see you mañana. Have a good one.